All the earlier Formula One action here on BBC One with the Bahrain Grand Prix qualifying race after the final score with Gabby Logan.
Relegation.
He was one of the heroes of the afternoon.
Applause from the away supporters. The latest score is Wimbledon. Go through to the Premier.
John Terry's tears, we all remember.
It was 2 crucial week. Manchester United 4, Blackpool 2.
Hello, welcome to Final Score. The doors are closing on some, time is running out on others, futures are being decided. What an afternoon we've been enjoying across the nation's football leagues. Garth, Crooks and Danny Mills have been on the edge of their seats. We'll let you know why in just a moment. But first of all, let's bring you up to speed with all the important matters around the Premier League. First of all, at the Emirates at lunchtime, the big game between Arsenal and Chelsea. And it finished goalless. No capital gains to be had in this London derby. Arsenal twice hit the woodwork in the first half through Robin van Persie and Laurent Koscielny, but a much-changed Chelsea side continued where they left off against Barcelona. Another solid defensive display. And here's to tell you about, well, at Villa Park, it's Aston Villa 0, Sunderland 0 at the moment. They've had the better of the game, Villa, against their former manager, Martin O'Neill Sunderland, but the visitors have come closest to scoring, Stephen Ireland having to clear the ball off his own goal line. Blackburn Rovers 2, Norwich 0. Just when Blackburn looked odds-on to be relegated, they're on course for their first points in 6 matches. Formica and Hoylett with the goals there. Bolton 1, Swansea 1. Bolton's Chris Eagles cancelling out Scott Sinclair's fantastic opener for Swansea. The home side really need all the points in their battle against relegation, but it's Swansea who are in the ascendancy at the moment. Fulham 1, Wigan 1. 2 goals in just over a minute at Craven Cottage. Wigan broke the deadlock through Boyce, only for Pogrebniak to equalise there. What a game we've got on our hands there at Craven Cottage. And Newcastle United 3, Stoke 0. Newcastle going to move into the top 4 for a few hours at least, of course, because the tea-time kick-off at Loftus Road involves Spurs, who would be behind them if this result stays as it is or gets better for Newcastle. Kabay scored twice, and Papa Cisse, of course, has got a goal, as he always does. Let's hear more about that game. Steve Sutton is there for us.
Well, Newcastle in dominant form, Gabby. They led by 2-0 at half-time. Kabay with the opening goal, the man they call Y.I. Kabay. Opening goal, Cisse had headed against the bar. Kabay got the rebound right in front of goal, nodded it in, and then 3 minutes later it was Kabay with the through ball, defence-splitting through ball to Cisse, and he side-footed into the net. In the second half, Kabay got his second, Newcastle's third. A beautiful goal from the edge of the box, passed into the far corner of the net. Colaccini should have headed home a fourth, but he was wide from a corner. It's been all Newcastle. They lead 3-0.
Birmingham City have taken the lead at the Amex against Brighton. They only need a point to guarantee a top 6 finish, but at the moment they're heading for all 3 points. Let's go to Ewood Park, though. Blackburn Rovers also looking good for 3 points. Richard Askham.
Yes, they are, Gabby, although it's still very tense, as you can imagine, here at Ewood Park. Paul Robinson has just pulled off a great save to deny Aaron Wilbraham to preserve Blackburn's 2-goal lead. Those goals either side of the break really have changed the whole complexion of this match, one that before that Norwich had dominated. Maro Formica with the first after a deep cross from Morten Gamst Pedersen. The second, an absolute stunner from Junior Hoylett. He cut in from the left onto his right foot and hit the top corner from 25 yards, giving John Ruddy no chance whatsoever. Blackburn in the last few minutes have rather gone into their shell a bit. Norwich have started to press, so although they have this 2-goal cushion, it isn't over yet.
Indeed, it's not. Richard, thank you. Let's go to the Reebok. It's one apiece. Damian Johnson on a knife edge.
It is, but it's all Swansea. Danny Graham's just hit the bar for them with a fantastic curling effort. Scott Sinclair shot Swansea in front as Bolton backed off in the first half. Chris Eagles equalised, sweeping home a Petrov cross. Swansea really dominated this second half, monopolising possession and creating a load of great chances. Graham very much at the fore. One effort saved by Bogdan. He curled an effort wide. His cross was brilliantly cleared by Greta Steinson, with Sinclair lurking at the post. And as I say, he's just hit the bar a moment ago. Bolton would dearly love a second, but it's all Swansea at the moment.
Damien, thank you. And to Craven Cottage, Jonathan Ledyard was wishing for a juicy second half. He got just that.
We're getting it now, but I don't think Wigan are enjoying it because haven't taken that lead through Boyce's first goal of the season. They've seen Pogrebniak equalise. They've seen him hit the post, or rather the bar, and he's just a few moments ago hit the post when it seemed easier, frankly, to score. A lovely run by that man, Dempsey, going for his 23rd goal of the season, round the back of the Wigan defence, crossed, good save by El Habsi, came to Pogrebniak, couldn't quite get it under control with his right leg, and it rather bounced ungainly off that particular leg and went against the post, and then Damien Duff unable to squeeze it in. But Wigan now living dangerously. 1-1 though.
Jonathan, thank you. Let's go to Villa Park. Ivan Gaskell. Things are getting a bit nervy for Aston Villa. At one point today, Wigan were above them for a minute or so, but it really does mean that they're involved in this relegation battle, are they not?
Absolutely. Very, very tight here and very nervous too. 12 and a half minutes left. We discussed earlier the increasing squeak to be heard emanating from the collective Aston Villa rear. Well, it's getting louder by the minute. Villa living so dangerously here. They've had good possession, good chances. They've allowed both to slip from their grasp. Sunderland, an increasing presence in this game. They've had the best chances, really. Bentner and McLean missed arguably the best of them. Bentner's just seen a goal disallowed, offside by inches only. Ireland scrambled desperately off the Villa line. Someone fetched the 3-in-1.
Thank you very much, Ivan. DIY experts must know what that means. Do you know what that means?
Of course.
Yeah, Garth doesn't. Listen, you don't need the top two in action, do you, to have an exciting afternoon?
No,
it's
not
been
at
a
all.
real topsy-turvy afternoon. Matters at the bottom of what we've really mainly been focusing on. Has anything you've seen changed your mind from the start of today of where you felt this was going?
I didn't think that Blackburn's performances of late was going to get them out of trouble. Today's performances was a stark difference than last week against Swansea. They've really performed against Norwich today, Blackburn. They almost look certain to get 3 points, which changes the situation at the bottom dramatically, and it puts the teams around them under enormous pressure.
And you were annoyed with Wigan for conceding so quickly.
Yeah, definitely. And since then, it's been all Fulham. You know, the Pog has hit the bar, he's hit the post. Wigan can't get back into it. They probably did score a little bit against the run of play in the first place, but once you do that, just go solid. And I know certainly Martinez has his ideals, loves playing football. Almost came unstuck against Arsenal doing that, conceding chances. This is the end of the season. Once you've scored, go solid for 5 minutes, get the ball in their half, don't concede. They haven't now, and now they look on the back foot and look, if anyone's going to lose it, Wigan are going to lose it.
Well, they don't want to go down, but there's a team definitely coming up. That's Reading. Let's go to the Madejski Stadium. Is the party on for the championship, though, Tony Husband?
Well, it's not at the moment. The title race still open in many ways in the Championship. It's 2-2 now between Reading and Crystal Palace. An equaliser just a moment ago from Glenn Murray after Reading failed to clear a corner. Murray volleying into the corner of the net. Reading playing in the second half with 10 men after the first half dismissal of Jason Roberts for a clumsy elbow on Jonathan Parr. They'd gone 2-1 up with those 10 men through Adam Lafondra, but Murray has pegged them back. And, of course, Southampton fans will be keeping an eagle eye on this scoreline here. 2-2.
Portsmouth losing, Coventry losing. Well, none of that matters because Bristol City are winning at Ashton Gate. Hamish Marshall.
Yeah, they lead Barnsley 2-0, and unless we have a dramatic turnaround in the last 11 minutes, City are going to be safe. And as you say, Portsmouth and Coventry going down. Cole Skuse put them ahead against the run of play, and what looked like a soft penalty from where I'm sat had John Stead converting to make it 2 after the break. Barnsley will feel they've been hard done by, but Bristol City have found their form in the right time. They're now heading for 7 unbeaten, and as you say, championship safety.
So all but over for the Sky Blues. Steve Lee is at the Rico.
Yes, Coventry 0, Doncaster 1, as if the news from Ashton Gate wasn't bad enough. Coventry have now conceded a penalty. Richard Keogh bringing down sub James Hayter. Chris Foy, the Premier League referee, pointed to the spot. Upstep Hayter, 1-0. All over Coventry now. Coventry 0, Doncaster 1.
A similar story for Portsmouth fans at Fratton Park. Mark Webber.
Portsmouth 0, Derby 1. 4 years ago, Portsmouth fans were planning exotic trips to Milan, Portugal and Central Europe. Today they're looking at travel plans to Tranmere, and their South Coast derby is actually Bournemouth. But the locals have been nothing but vociferous. Luke Varney's just got one back, but then minutes later Steve Davis made it 1-2 for Derby after Jake Buxton got the first. I've never seen the Poppy fans look so happy, though. They seem to be relishing that wet Wednesday at Walsall.
Thank you, Mark. Let's have a little look then at the bottom of the Championship. As things stand, Portsmouth and Coventry will be joining Doncaster Rovers in being relegated to League One. Coventry City haven't been in the third tier of English football since 1964. And what a run from Bristol City. OK, let's go to the top of League One, to the Valley. John Anderson there. One team fighting for their life in the division, the other looking to cap a fantastic season with the Championship.
Looks like they're going to cap it, Gabby, because Charlton have gone 2-1 up. The goal coming on 74 minutes. Danny Haynes with a cross, nodded back by Jan Kermagant, and it was crisply volleyed into the net by Dale Stevens. Charlton coming forward now, trying to make absolutely sure of the win. Kermagant put them ahead with a superb curling free kick. They then missed a hatful of chances and were punished when Stuart Bevan equalised right on half-time. But Charlton have their noses back in front, and as it stands, they will be crowned champions and Wycombe will almost certainly be relegated.
Thank you, John. Let's go to Stadium MK. Andy May, at the start of today, Sheffield United knew if they won, Sheffield Wednesday lost, they'd be up. Things not going to plan.
Not at all for Sheffield United. MK Dons are 1-up after Alan Smith's first goal in 5 years. He headed in from close range in the first half from a corner. United have struggled going forward at Stadium MK. Ched Evans was sentenced to 5 years in prison for rape yesterday. He's missing, and so is his strike partner this season, Richard Cresswell, because of a shoulder injury. Daniel Powell's been sent off in the last few minutes for the home side. MK Dons 1, Sheffield United 0.
And to make things worse for United, their great rivals Wednesday are in the lead at Hillsborough. Alan Biggs.
Yes, 1-0 against Carlisle. The Owls happy to pour more rain on Sheffield United's potential promotion parade, but it's not comfortable. Just the one goal in the first half from Chris Lyne, set up by the pace of Jermaine Johnson, who otherwise has been one of several culprits in front of goal. Wednesday having numerous opportunities, and Carlisle kept in it by Adam Collin, though they've had misses of their own. Zoko, the main culprit. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Carlisle 0.
Another goal for Blackpool, and they're now, of course, secured a playoff place. The party's started at Blumfield Road. James Mason.
It certainly has. 4-0. Substitute Noah Dicko beating the Burnley offside trap to side foot past Lee Grant. The nerves palpable before kick-off, but Stephen Dobbie's first half opener proved to be the perfect tonic to put Blackpool 1-0 up. Second half goals from Gary Taylor-Fletcher and Stephen Craney before Dicko's fourth have made it 4-0 to Blackpool.
And it looks like Birmingham City are safe in the playoff places as well at the Amex. Tony Lockwood.
Brighton 0, Birmingham 1. The South Coast has not been a happy hunting ground for Birmingham this season. That could all change. Nathan Redmond with a goal that looks like securing the Blues' place in the end-of-season playoffs. Set up by Marlon King. Redmond with a low left-foot finish beyond the keeper and into the bottom corner. Visiting keeper Colin Doyle, 2 significant saves. First from Will Buckley, then from Alan Navarro. Birmingham tightening their grip on a top 6 finish. Brighton 0, Birmingham 1.
Hull have doubled their lead against Nottingham Forest, but Alan Biggs has a goal at Hillsborough. Which way's it gone?
It's gone to Carlisle, which means that Sheffield Wednesday have paid for their profligacy, and John Paul McGovern, a favourite Hillsborough son, returning with Carlisle this afternoon. McGovern was involved the last time Wednesday went up through the playoffs. It was his free kick, not cleared, and James Berrett buried a low drive from the edge of the area. Bottom corner, anxious here, but good for the Blades. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Carlisle 1.
Let's go to the KC Stadium and hear about that goal. Paul Addison.
Yes, Hull leading by 2-0, and Nottingham Forest will feel a little bit hard done by. A bit of a soft penalty. Luke Chambers pushed James Chester in the area. The referee, Mr. Eltringham, pointed to the spot, and Matty Fryatt converted for his 16th goal of the season. Hull on their way to victory in their final home game of the season. They lead Forest 2-0.
And there's a goal there. You can see Chesterfield have gone ahead at the B2 net. 2 teams fighting for their lives. Andrew James.
Yes, Chesterfield have come from a goal down to lead 2-1. The first equalising goal from Scott Bowden, and then Danny Whittaker poking the ball in after it came back off the bar from Moose's shot. All that after Jean-Louis Akparapro's 5th league goal of the season had given Rochdale the lead. It basically means that Rochdale, if it stays like this, will be confirmed as down. Chesterfield may yet live on, depending on scorelines elsewhere, Gabby, but Chesterfield lead 2-1.
Thank you, Andrew. Let's get reaction now from that lunchtime kick-off in the Premier League at the Emirates. Jonathan Pearce is asking the questions.
Arsenal-Chelsea games over the past years have given us so many thrills and spills and great memories, and today didn't. Why do you think that was?
First of all, I feel didn't understand well because they locked the game completely. They were in a position as well. They had to win. Draw is no good for them as well. So, but they tried to lock the game, catch us on the break.
We put ourselves in good positions with the breaks, and it's unfortunate that we just missed that final pass or the quality in the final pass to get the goal. But against Arsenal, it's always a tough game, and considering that it was our third game in less than 6 days, I have to say it was a fantastic effort.
They had a very defensive-minded midfield with Malouda, Essien and Romeu, 3 defenders basically, and all the 3 very strong, very solid. They killed the game, and we were not quick enough, as you say, to open them up.
I think we had plenty of attempts as well. You know, I mean, if I just looked at the stats as well, so we had plenty of attempts today as well. And Arsenal play a similar game to Barca, probably, you know, with the possession, the rotation, and so on. So I think we contained them well, yes, but also I think going forward, as I said, we looked dangerous.
We'll talk about that in a moment, but a crucial goal affecting matters at the bottom of the table. Jonathan Ledyard at Craven Cottage.
What a time for Philippe Senderos to score his first goal of the season. Fulham 2, Wigan 1. We have just 1 minute of normal time to go. Free kick on the left. Where were the Wigan markers? Senderos pretty much unmarked, jumping certainly to meet it at the near post. No chance El Habsi. Senderos also just a few moments ago, back heel just past the post with El Habsi having no chance at all. This could be a critical turning point. Wigan's great run could be over.
You said they've only got themselves to blame, Garth.
Yeah, they did. The equaliser, they scored, they took the lead, did Wigan, and Fulham equalised immediately, and it was a poor goal to give away. They really should have blocked that shot, but it wasn't to be. But there are some big results today, or latest scores, I should say, that are going to affect big teams. Spurs have got to win, for me, if they're going to actually be serious about Champions League spots, because Newcastle are almost certainly going to take 3 points against Stoke today. And also, Blackburn affect QPR. That same game, QPR are under enormous pressure, because if Blackburn win today, then they almost certainly put them on the same
number
of
points. Well, they're on the same points, 31 points each. And also, it's interesting, Aston Villa, if things stay as they are, that point, which might not have looked like a brilliant result at the start of the day, suddenly with Wigan lose, there's 2 points between them now, and it starts to just give them a little bit more comfort.
I said that at the start of the day, you know, a point is almost enough. 36 points could well be enough this season to stay up. It could be the lowest points tally ever. Wigan have thrown it away. Disastrous defending by them. The Bolton and Swansea game is end to end. Both teams are going for it. It's incredible. They're both having chances, but suddenly now the bottom is closed right up again. And again, it's all to play for between those bottom 4, even 5 teams now.
36 may well render you safe at the moment.
Indeed.
33 is nowhere, not this year.
No. OK, let's go to the Amex. There's a goal, Tony Lockwood.
There's a goal for Brighton. There's a reward for Gus Poyet's side. It's been scored by Ashley Barnes, Albion's top scorer, his 14th in the League and Cup this season. A simple finish set up by Calderon, and Barnes was in the right place at the right time to beat the visiting keeper and give surely Brighton a share of the points. Remember, Birmingham, a draw will be enough to give them a place in the end of season playoffs. Brighton 1, Birmingham 1.
Yeah, as things stand, they only need a point anyway to secure it. Birmingham City would be in 5th, Blackpool in 4th. Of course, they're absolutely hammering Burnley at the moment at Bloomfield Road. We're going to go to the Rico, though. There's been a bit of trouble, Steve Lee.
Yes, the game has just finished. It's Coventry 0, Doncaster 2. We've got some fans on the pitch. Demonstrations have been going on against Sisu, the hedge fund who own the club. We've had stewards wrestling with a few fans. It's all gone very ugly for Coventry. Simon Gillett getting the second goal after James Hayter's penalty. Not what we want to see. Some ugly scenes, and it's all ended in tears for Coventry. They're down to the 3rd tier of English football for the first time since '64, and they've gone down with a few fans making exhibitions of themselves. Coventry 0, Doncaster 2.
Not good to see, and not good to see for Portsmouth fans that Bristol City have got their result. They're trailing as well at Fratton Park, almost over there, Mark Webber, both today and, of course, for Portsmouth in the Championship.
Gabby, a newlywed couple hot-footed in full bridal gear from the church this afternoon to see their beloved Portsmouth relegated. From wedding to wake in 1 hour, that's commitment, and the team showed similar commitment on the pitch, but Derby overrun them. Pompey now in League One, a side whose financial future still undecided, but their fans still as supportive as they slip into that league. Like the happy couple I've just mentioned, Portsmouth and their fans never seem to fall out of love. Almost Pompey relegated.
I hope it's not an omen. OK, let's go to Villa Park. Ivan Gaskell. Suddenly a point doesn't seem like such a bad result if Wigan do lose to Fulham.
I've said exactly the same to a colleague of mine moments ago. There is such frustration around Villa Park. This might yet, though, turn out, if they hang on to it, to be a good Villa point. They've really put their fans through the mill again today. Craig Gardner has returned to the city of his birth. He was a Birmingham player, and he's just been sent promptly packing back down the tunnel, dismissed for a second yellow. Let's just see what happens here. Villa player goes down in the box. Nothing doing. Oh, this has been such tension with a capital T, but it's still goalless.
Thank you, Ivan. It's all over. Newcastle have taken another 3 points. 6 on the bounce now, Steve Sutton.
Yes, they have. Newcastle 3, Stoke 0 as dominant.
Let's go to Craven Cottage. Jonathan Ledyard. It is defeats for Wigan. That fabulous run is over.
It is, and as Danny and Garth have said, really, Wigan have only got themselves to blame for this defeat. Lack of concentration at crucial moments, poor defending as well, have really cost them dearly, because they could have earned 3 points here. They took the lead against the run of play. Boyce with his first goal of the season, very much against the run of play, catching Fulham cold. Within a minute, though, Pogrebniak had equalised, and then in the final minute of normal time, Philippe Senderos headed in the winner. Pogrebniak could have had a hat-trick. He hit the bar, hit the post. Senderos also hit back-heeled past the post. Wigan were rocking. Fulham looked odds on to win, and so it proved. Those final 2 games for Wigan, away at Blackburn and Wolves at home, now take on even greater significance.
And it's all over at Villa Park. Ivan Gaskell, is Alex McLeish going to breathe a sigh of relief, do you think, tonight?
I think he might, but boy, are they struggling over the line, Villa. They started so well here, plenty of vigour and promise, but as so often this season, no end product. Chances came and went. You sensed a growing unease with it, so Sunderland grew in confidence. Bentner steered a glorious chance over the bar, as did McLean. Vyman hit the side netting rather than the back of it. Bentner saw a goal disallowed, the tightest of offside calls. Ireland scrambled desperately off the Villa line. It became all too desperate. Gardner was then dismissed for a second yellow in added time. No matter, Villa hung on for their 15th draw of the season. It may yet prove, though, a very precious point indeed.
Well, the biggest result of the day so far at the bottom of the table at Ewood Park. Demonstrations from the fans ahead of the game, but Steve Keane's side have taken 3 points. Richard Askham.
Yes, Gabby, it's just finished. Blackburn 2, Norwich 0. Steve Keane before the match that this was a must-win game for his side, and although it was far from pretty, his patched-up 11 found just enough for a crucial 3 points. Maro Famika steadied the Ewood nerves with the opener firing in at the back post after great work from Morten Gamst Pedersen, but the best was still to come. Junior Hoylett, hard-working and tricky throughout, showed just how important he is to Blackburn's efforts to stay up, curling in a 25-yard beauty after cutting in from the left onto his right foot. Ruddy, no chance. Norwich played with the relaxed manner of a side that knows they're safe. Blackburn certainly aren't, but their hopes are still alive.
Full time at Ashton Gate, and they seemed dead and buried just weeks ago, didn't they? But incredible run there has seen Bristol City survive in the Championship. They've sent down in the process today, of course, Portsmouth and Coventry, and fantastic scenes there for the Bristol club. Always, I mean, been there. Have you been there on that last day of the season with the tension? You know, yeah. whether it's come off for you or not.
Yeah, and failed. not quite scenes like that, unfortunately.
It's been in many ways it's been a difficult season for Bristol. I mean, you may recall right at the very outset, Steve Coppell was involved in the club. David James was there. It was in turmoil. it seems to have settled down and they've got out of it.
Well, Derek McInnes, when he came, had a huge job, didn't he? He had a huge job to do, but he's done it. And we spoke to David James just a few weeks ago. Then you could see the tension and the nerves. It's all paid off, though. At Ashton Gate, Hamish Marshall can tell us the story.
Yeah, Bristol City won by 2-0. The scores elsewhere in the end meant the result here didn't matter. But the home side completed the job, and the fans, as you can see, are invading the pitch in celebration. Kolskius' second goal in 2 games, and John Stead's penalty makes it 13 points from 7 unbeaten games, which condemns Coventry and Portsmouth to League One. Barnsley will feel hard done by, but they were already safe, and the home side can now join them and prepare for a 6th successive season in the Championship.
Sun is shining at Ashton Gate today. Congratulations, Bristol City. Let's go to Bloomfield Road. Congratulations to Blackpool. They've secured their spot in the playoff places. James Mason.
Yes, Blackpool 4, Burnley 0 in the playoffs, Gabby, for the second time in 3 seasons. The scoreline perhaps flattering, but the 3 points never really in doubt. Stephen Dobby opened the scoring in the first half with a fine 25-yard strike, with second-half goals from Taylor Fletcher, Craney and Dicko adding the icing onto their promotion-chasing cake. Burnley did have a string of chances, but it just wasn't their day, and it remains to be seen if it could be Blackpool's year. It ended Blackpool 4, Burnley 0.
And it's all over at the Reebok, and it finishes 1 apiece. Damien Johnson.
Yes, in the end, Bolton lucky to escape with a point. They were really under the cosh for long periods by Swansea City. The visitors took the lead through a brilliant curling effort from Scott Sinclair. The home side's defence at fault there. Bolton equalised when Chris Eagles swept in a Martin Petrov cross. Swansea took control, though, in the second half. They fashioned a host of chances, but just couldn't find the net. Danny Graham came closest with an effort which rattled the crossbar. Bolton rallied late in the game as the game ebbed and flowed. Eagles combined with Klasnich and fired just inches wide. Swansea, the better side, no doubt, but an opportunity lost for struggling Bolton.
Sheffield Wednesday have got a late winner. Well, it looks like it's going to be a winner. Mikel Antonio on 90 minutes. What an end to the season it is going to be at the top of League One. Of course, United losing to MK Dons today, their arch rivals. Let's go to Fratton Park, though, and contrast these scenes with what we saw at Ashton Gate, because Portsmouth are down. What a torrid time they have had, both off and, of course, on the pitch. It's been reflected, losing players, and they've bounced back many times before. Can they do it again? Mark Webber.
The Portsmouth fans standing and applauding. You wouldn't know they've just been relegated to the 3rd tier of English football. So much joy around me. Another chapter closes in the Pompey tome, which had more twists and turns than a Hollywood thriller. They're already chanting, "We are going up for next season." The fans determined that the next chapter will be a much happier one. They lost here today by 2-1 against Derby, and they're relegated.
Let's go to the Valley. Contrasting scenes there, John Anderson.
It has just been announced over the tannoy that Charlton Athletic are champions, courtesy of that defeat for Sheffield United. They've clinched it with a 2-1 victory here. Perhaps harder fought than it should have been. Jan Kermorgan's free kick giving them the lead on 14 minutes. They then wasted loads of chances and were punished before half-time when Stuart Bevan's header gave Wycombe hope. But in the second half, with 15 minutes left, Dale Stevens volleyed into the corner, and that is the goal which has taken Charlton back into the Championship as the champions of League One, and also a goal which will almost certainly consign Wycombe to League Two. A day of contrasting emotions here. It's finished Charlton 2, Wycombe 1.
Huge congratulations to Charlton, to Chris Powell as well. A fantastic job there. And yes,
he's done fantastically well. He's so humble, though. I texted him in the week when they got promoted, and I just got got a text back saying, really appreciate it. It feels fantastic, and that's the sort of man he is. Very, very calm, very humble. I always wasn't sure whether he would have the nasty streak to be a great manager, but he's got a great team around him, and he's done fantastically well playing good football.
Well, he's not a great manager yet. I think he has the potential to be, but I happened to bump into him in the week on the London Underground with his son. And I actually spoke to him about how the season had gone.
You were on the Underground?
Yes,
I don't
believe it or not. Yes, I travel on the Underground now.
Or Garth.
And I
BBC cutbacks that.
And I said to him, have you really enjoyed it? He said he's loved it. And I said, do you really want to do this job now? He went, more than ever. I said, well, there's only one way to go from now. He went, yeah, up. So he's got his eye on the prize. So I think there's a lot of potential in Chris, and he's done a fantastic job. Many congratulations.
Well, Wycombe not down just yet, but Rochdale are. You'll hear about that in a moment. But let's keep the congratulations and the good news going at the Priestfield. Chris Dennis, congratulations to Swindon.
Very much so, Gabby. As I speak, 1,500 Swindon fans away to my right in full voice and red and white scarves aloft, because although they've lost the game by three goals to 1 today to Gillingham, by virtue of Torquay's defeat elsewhere today, Swindon are promoted to League One. It's been a long, long campaign. 1,500 fans, as I say, away to my right in full voice. Paolo Di Canio on the pitch, surrounded by television cameras and radio stations, microphones being shoved under his nose. It's been a mixed emotion for him today, and of course we should spare a thought for him on a personal point of view. Both his parents sadly passed away in the last 6 months. It is, though, his first season in charge as a manager. He achieved all sorts of things as a player, of course. Paolo Di Canio, one of the most quotable players in the game. This is his first full season in charge of as a manager, and he's taken Swindon to promotion, and he'll want to finish the job in the remaining 2 games by clinching the championship title. We hope to speak to him in the next few minutes, but the news here from the Priestfield is finished. Gillingham 3, Swindon 1. Swindon, though, promoted to League One.
Chris, let's go to the Majeski. Reading, of course, already up, Tony Husband, but they're looking for those points to secure the title. They need a couple more.
Yes, if they win at Birmingham next week, they will be the Championship champions. They've drawn 2-2 with Crystal Palace here, though. They played half the game with 10 men. Jason Roberts sent off just before half-time for a rather clumsy elbow. That said, though, with the 10 men, Adam Lafondra put their noses in front in the second half. They led 2-1 before a late volley from Glenn Murray grabbed a point for plucky Palace. Reading players are now going to salute their fans. This is their last home game, but they go to Birmingham next week knowing that 3 points will secure them the title, and of course a little depends on what Southampton do at Middlesbrough tonight as well, but it's finished 2-2 at the Mid-AC Stadium.
And Jason Roberts will be on 6:06 later, so he's had longer than usual to prepare for that today. Let's go to the B2 net. It was 2 teams fighting for their lives. Unfortunately, one of them down. Andrew James.
Yes, mixed emotions here. It's Rochdale that go down. They've lost here by 2-1 despite going in front through Jean-Louis Akpro, his 5th goal of the season. They'd been the better side for much of the game, but Chesterfield fought back through Scott Bowden's equaliser and then Danny Whittaker's winner, and that means that 4 points behind the side immediately out the safety zone, Walsall. Chesterfield could still survive. Rochdale, though, well, they're down.
Oh, it's unlikely, but...
Sorry for Rochdale and their fans. Now let's get the full classified results with Mike West.
Yes.
Beginning with the Barclays Premier League. Arsenal 0, Chelsea 0. Aston Villa 0, Sunderland 0. Blackburn Rovers 2, Norwich City 0. Bolton Wanderers 1, Swansea City 1. Fulham 2, Wigan Athletic 1. Newcastle United 3, Stoke City 0. And the game between Queen's Park Rangers and Tottenham Hotspur is an evening kick-off at 5:30. On to the Empire Championship. Blackpool 4, Burnley 0. Brighton and Hove Albion 1, Birmingham City 1. Bristol City 2, Barnsley 0. Cardiff City 1, Leeds United 1. Coventry City 0, Doncaster Rovers 2. Hull City 2, Nottingham Forest 1. Ipswich Town 0, Millwall 3. The match between Middlesbrough and Southampton, an evening kick-off at 5:20. Peterborough United 2, Watford 2. Portsmouth 1, Derby County 2. And Reading 2, Crystal Palace 2. In the Empire League One, AFC Bournemouth 1, Colchester United 1. Charlton Athletic 2, Wycombe Wanderers 1. Chesterfield 2, Rochdale 1. Exeter City 4, Walsall 2. Huddersfield Town 1, Scunthorpe United 0. Leyton Orient 2, Yeovil Town 2. Milton Keynes Dons 1, Sheffield United 0. Notts County 2, Bury 4. Oldham Athletic 1, Preston North End 1. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Carlisle United 1. Stevenage 2, Brentford 1. And Tranmere Rovers 1, Hartlepool United 1. In the Empire League 2, Accrington Stanley 1, Shrewsbury Town 1. AFC Wimbledon 2, Torquay United 0. Bradford City 1, Macclesfield Town 0. Burton Albion 0. Aldershot Town 4. Crewe Alexandra 1, Cheltenham Town 0. Dagenham and Redbridge 1, Crawley Town 1. Gillingham 3, Swindon Town 1. Hereford United 0, Northampton Town 0. Plymouth Argyle 1, Oxford United 1. Port Vale 1, Bristol Rovers 0. And Rotherham United 3, Morecambe 2. On to the Blue Square Bet Premier. AFC Telford United 0, Grimsby Town 0. Bath City 4, Gateshead 2. Braintree Town 0, York City 1. Cambridge United 2, Fleetwood Town 0. Forest Green Rovers 2, Darlington 0. Kettering Town 1, Barrow 1. Lincoln City 0, Hayes and Yeading United 1. Luton Town 1, Kidderminster 0. Newport County 1, Alfreton Town 0. Southport 3, Ebbsfleet United 3. And Stockport County 2, Tamworth 0. Into Scotland and the Clydesdale Bank Scottish Premier League, Hearts 0, Rangers 3. Inverness Caledonian Thistle 0, Aberdeen 2. St Johnstone 0, Dundee United 2. And St Mirren 4, Dunfermline 4. The Irn-Bru Scottish Division 1, Dundee 0, Partick Thistle 3. Falkirk 2, Wraith Rovers 3. Greenock Morton 1, Ross County 1. Hamilton Academical 3, Ayr United 2. And Queen of the South 0, Livingston 4. The Scottish Division 2, Albion Rovers 1, Arbroath 1. Cowdenbeath 2, Forfar Athletic 0. Dumbarton 2, Airdrie United 1. East Fife 1, Stirling Albion 0. And Stenhousemuir 2, Brechin City 1. The Scottish Division 3, Alloa Athletic 3, Stranraer 1. Berwick Rangers 3, Elgin City 3. Montrose 3, East Stirlingshire 1. Peterhead 1, Clyde 1. And Queen's Park 2, Annan Athletic 0. Finally, the Carling Premiership, Ballymena United 2, Glenavon 2. Cliftonville 3, Glentoran 0. Coleraine 4, Portadown 1. Crusaders 1, Linfield 1. And Dungannon Swifts 2, Donegal Celtic 1.
Let's have a little look then at the tables. Well, the title race resumes tomorrow. Manchester United host Everton before neighbours City play Wolves. Newcastle are now only 3 points adrift of Arsenal, although Tottenham will reclaim fourth place if they beat QPR in today's late kick-off. If QPR win that game, well, Wolves will be relegated tomorrow if they fail to beat Manchester City. And Bolton slip below Blackburn Rovers, while Wigan and Villa remain in reach of the sides below them. Let's have a look at the Championship. Southampton will rejoin Reading in the Premier League next season if they beat Middlesbrough in today's evening kick-off. If they fail to do that, they'll still go up if West Ham don't beat Leicester on Monday. Blackpool sealed their place in the playoffs with victory over Burnley. At the bottom, promotion issues are still to be decided, but the relegation battle is well and truly over. Coventry and Portsmouth are both down to League One after Bristol City secured their survival with victory over Barnsley. They, of course, joined Doncaster Rovers, who were already down. To League One, Charlton's victory over Wycombe means they will go up as champions after Sheffield United's defeat at MK Dons. The Blades' slip means they're just 1 point ahead of Sheffield Wednesday in the race for automatic promotion after the Owls beat Carlisle. At the bottom, Rochdale will be playing in League Two after their defeat by Chesterfield, who kept alive their hopes of survival. Exeter also live to fight another day after their dramatic win against Walsall. Wycombe's defeat against Charlton leaves them in deep trouble. To League Two, Swindon promoted despite that defeat at Gillingham after Torquay and Crawley both failed to win their games. Shrewsbury remain in pole position for automatic promotion, even though they could only draw with Accrington. Bottom of the table, it's now 2 from 3 in the battle to avoid relegation. Plymouth are safe after their draw with Oxford, so it's now down to Macclesfield, Hereford and Barnet. And the Blue Square Bet Premier, Fleetwood, of course, already up. York, Luton and Kidderminster all still in with a chance of a place in the playoffs. At the bottom, Hayes relegation is confirmed despite their victory at Lincoln. Newport's win against Alfreton sends them down. To the SPL, Dundee United leapfrog St Johnstone into 4th place following their victory in the lunchtime kick-off. Dunfermline still in huge trouble after their thrilling 4-4 draw with St Mirren. Let's get the headlines from the Premier League today. It was 2, Norwich 0. It looked like a case of Rovers an out after a run of 5 straight defeats, but Blackburn knocked the Canaries off their perch at Ewood Park. A sublime finish by Junior Hoylett, putting the seal on the victory. Bolton 1, Swansea 1. Bolton's survival chances remain in the balance. Chris Eagles cancelling out Scott Sinclair's fabulous opener for Swansea, but the Trotters need to break into a run of wins to preserve their top-flight status. Fulham 2, Wigan 1. Sendros, the Swiss, ends Wigan's roll. His headed goal for Fulham, his first for them in the last minute, ends the Latics' recent resurgence. Emerson Boyce put the visitors ahead, but Pogrebnia's equaliser set up the late drama there. Aston Villa 0, Sunderland 0. Still no Villa spark for Alex McLeish's struggling side. A 15th draw of the season at least gives them what could be a valuable point in the fight against relegation. And it's the same scoreline at the Emirates. All of that, all the drama, all the goals, analysed by Gary and the Allens on BBC One at 10:30 for you. The Football League show follows that with Manish, that's at 11:50. And then tomorrow it's a big day, isn't it, for Match of the Day 2. Manchester United, Everton, Wolves, Manchester City and Liverpool, West Brom. Colin Murray joined by Alan Shearer, Robbie Savage and Brendan Rodgers. So let's hear from Roberto Martinez. Saw his side lose 2-1 at Craven Cottage. He's talking to Martin Fisher.
Well, Roberto, it wasn't to be today, but you must have felt when you took the lead that you're on for a good result again.
Well, I thought we look a little bit tired and obviously normal because you compare against the preparation that Fulham had. We had 3 very, very demanding games in 8 days, and it was important that today we could impose ourselves early in the game. Obviously, when we score the first goal, then you feel that you're going to grow into it a little bit more, but obviously we conceded straight after, and then in a game really that I didn't see a winner. It was more of a draw overall. It's just really disappointing that we get really punished that late in the game from a set play, but overall is a game that we probably was a game too many for us. The demands that we had in this month have been huge, and we need to make sure that we recover and we get ready for the next game now.
Might it have been a different story had you managed to hold that lead for longer than a minute, because it just gave Fulham fresh belief and momentum then, didn't it?
It was anything, that hope that you need as a you consider the goal, and probably you're hoping for something, and I felt that there is where we lacked a little bit of freshness that normally we get on the ball, and we can take advantage of that situation, and today we couldn't, and straight after we conceded. It's a good strike from outside the box, but we had enough bodies to try to block that, and then from there on is a draw. It's not much in the game, and the set play we are really disappointed that late in the game, but overall the performances that we had leading up to this game, they've been really, really demanding, and we have to remember that sometimes you get that sort of situation where you play in a side that they had 10-13 days to prepare the game, and today in them key moments at the end it showed a little bit, but overall I couldn't be more determined now than just to recover the bodies and get ready for the next game.
Concentration let them down.
Incredible, against the run of play, they went 1-0 up. A great strike from Boyce, and suddenly then you have to suddenly think it's not about playing football anymore. Great admirer of Roberto Martinez and his team and what he believes in. But sometimes for 5-10 minutes in games, you've got to be solid. Kick the ball in the stand, get it up the other end of the pitch, just consolidate what you've got. They didn't do that. And I think deservedly, in the end, they got beat. Fulham were well on top. The Pog he hit the post, he hit the bar, and Fulham had a lot of chances. And again, A little bit of complacency maybe crept in after those brilliant results that Wigan have had.
But Fulham themselves as well, they've got in their last 10 games better results than Spurs or Chelsea. So, you know, their season started late.
Fulham played really well today. But I believed it was two footballing teams. I thought that Wigan could go there and get something. They didn't play as well as they have done in recent weeks. And it's a massive opportunity missed. Going 1-0 up against the run of play, they should have held on to that.
A massive opportunity taken, though, by Blackburn Rovers today. Let's hear from Steve Keane talking to Steve Wilson.
Steve, well done. Is it fair to say that anything less than 3 points today would have been pretty much it?
Yeah, because, you know, it's a time in the season where we know what we have to do. You know, we've played some games and points have slipped through our fingers. And, you know, I said to the lads, you know, no matter what it takes, we have to get the 3 points today. And I thought from the first minute, you know, we were really at it. You know, we were trying to get it up to Yukubu and Junior Hoylett, you know, and trying to play a system where we're playing two up front and then one off the front as well with David Dunn. You know, it's shown our intent. We wanted to go and get the first goal. We wanted to make sure that we got the ball, you know, secured in the opposition's half. And I felt we'd done that very well.
Paul Lambert's been talking about he's disappointed with the way they conceded the 2 goals, but obviously as the manager of the team who scored them, you talk about the quality. I mean, what great ball in first by Pedersen on the first goal, and a tidy finish too. Yeah, but we've been working all week on getting people on their natural side. You know, there's been times this season where we've played Morton on the right-hand side, cutting in, cutting into his left foot from the right-hand side. But I felt today, you know, it was about quality of Morten Gamst Pedersen's delivery, about quality from Formica on his natural right side. You know, he can keep the ball, Formica, he can score at the back post, Morten can give his great delivery, and you know, that paid off for us. But I think there's probably 6 or 7 candidates for man of the match. I don't know who picks the man of the match, but you know, Gabby was outstanding, Scott Dan, you know, I could go through. It would be unfair to name them all because I thought we had a lot of candidates and we were worthy winners and worthy of our 3 points.
3 games to go. Can they do it?
Well, you can't write him off. Last week against Swansea, I wrote him off. I thought the performance against Swansea was poor from Blackburn, and it belied everything they'd done this season. Today, they were outstanding. They got the result, and it puts them in with a real lifeline. They've got 3 games to set play, as you say, and the big game is against Wigan at home. Winner takes all. They're on 31 Blackburn, Wigan 34. Wigan could have been out of sight today. They blew it, monumentally blew it. And if they can get 3 points against Wigan Blackburn, Steve Keane stays very much alive. The last game of the season, who's he got to play away? Chelsea. What a game that could be on the last game of the season.
It could be. Things could be decided, though, couldn't they, in the terms of the Champions League places? Chelsea could have a Champions League final around the corner. You never know, do you?
But there's so many variables.
And even if Chelsea go out, you know, will that be a Champions League hangover? Will they be so disappointed that they don't go out and perform, having to put so much effort into this two-legged semi-final? It's going to be tough for everybody.
Indeed. It's been an interesting another afternoon of everything moving around at the bottom and the top. Let's show you the goals from Ashton Gate, though, now. Adam Pope, your commentator. What a game this was.
Chance for City to open the scoring as the Bristolian Cole Scholes races into the penalty area. Oh, a superb move. One touch, one strike, one goal. Bristol City looking for a second. Dawn ahead of play. And a penalty has been given as Dawn headed away. There's a pull on the shirt. Button bounces on his line. Stead ensures a second goal and steers Bristol City towards the Championship for another season.
Congratulations to Bristol City. A quick reminder for you that on Tuesday, Garth's going to be busy and you can find out who Team GB will be taking on later in the summer. The Olympic football draw is going to take place at Wembley. Garth will be there 11 o'clock in the morning and it's on BBC 2. Have your say on 606 as usual as well. Jason Roberts will be there as well. That's it from all of us here. You can pop over to the red button if you want some more reaction, though. See you next time.